A lot of people say things to me like, man, you have a lot of willpower, or, oh my gosh, you're so motivated. I'm like, I absolutely am not either of those things. I have put so many things into place in order to have willpower, in order to feel like I'm going to do the things that I said I was going to do. Welcome back to the Earn Your Happy podcast. It's time for another quickie because there's always time to fit in inspiration. And I recently invested in my company to do more research. So with my company, Glossy, which is a skin routine you can drink, it's a daily beauty supplement. Think hydration packet meets beauty routine. And you put it in your water and you drink it and it helps you hydrate your skin. It helps you glow. It helps with your gut health. You guys, it's pretty overwhelming what all of the improvements I have felt in my life from drinking Glossy every single day with 2 packets a day. But we recently invested in more research around all of the ingredients in our product just so we can be even more educated. So we had pulled up a ton of different studies on every single ingredient that is in the product specifically. And one of the ingredients that is one of my favorites is hyaluronic acid. And some of the studies that came back were literally mind-blowing, not just around topical hyaluronic acid, because this is how most people use hyaluronic acid. And if you don't know, hyaluronic acid is something that your body naturally produces, but taking more of it can help significantly with your skin, with wrinkles, with your joints, with the volume of your skin, with the plumpness, with the hydration, how it appears on the outside. So a study in a clinical trial where 60 subjects consumed either 200 milligrams of hyaluronic acid a day or a placebo for 28 days. Researchers found that the subjects taking the hyaluronic acid supplementation orally showed a significant improvement in all measures of skin aging. Skin was less susceptible to dehydration, reduction in wrinkle severity, and improvement in skin elasticity and firmness in all participants who were taking the hyaluronic acid versus the placebo. And you guys, hyaluronic acid is really well known in the topical community, but what's so cool is that you're going to get the deeper impact when you're actually taking oral hyaluronic acid. So topical hyaluronic acid treatments provide immediate localized therapy to the skin. But if you want more than just your face to have that plump, juicy, youthful glow, if you want it on your neck, if you want it on your chest, your hands, your legs, you just want like all over skin health, taking hyaluronic acid orally is going to be huge for you. And studies have also shown that oral hyaluronic acid supplements can improve joint pain and arthritis symptoms, which is so crazy. So you guys, go and check it out. We're passing some major savings on to you right now. Now that we are out and we are launched and we're able to do much larger order quantities, we have gotten the pricing of the product down. So where everybody else is upping their pricing, we have lowered it so that this is really something that you can stay on the habit of because we believe in it so much. My life has changed from taking 2 Glossy packets a day. So you guys go check it out. You can go to getglossy.com. We have saved you over $20 on the monthly subscription. It went from $79 for the monthly subscription to $59 a month. And if you're a brand new customer, you can use code HAPPY to get 25% off of that first order, you guys. So go and check it out. All right. So you guys, it is January 16th on the release of this quickie. And it is proven. There are studies on the fact that by the 16th of January is where most people's New Year's resolutions start to wane. This is where you're like, you know what? Dry January is about to get a little wet. This is where I'm going to have my glass of wine tonight and say, fuck it, I'm over it. It already feels hard. 2025 might already feel challenging. Maybe it's not off to a great start. Maybe you're not totally sticking to your routines right now. Or maybe you're like, man, my initial motivation is just kind of dwindling. And totally normal, you guys, completely normal. It's the recognition of this that's going to be vital for you. It's all right if you're feeling that way. Not only is it all right, it's actually probably the expectation for about where the world is sitting right now. That initial excitement of a new year and the new goals and everything that you set are really starting to settle in, because guess what? Eating salads Monday through Friday, all of a sudden you realize isn't that much fun. And trying to get your water intake or trying to meet those business goals or trying to do all those things that you did all at once or that you put in place all at once is probably overwhelming the crap out of you. So with that, I want to talk to you about why motivation is so overrated. Waiting for motivation and waiting to feel that feeling that you thought you were going to feel on January 1, or maybe the feeling that you felt the first week of January, it's actually not going to come back frequently at all. You may get bursts of motivation once a week, maybe once a month, maybe you get it once every 6 months. And that is why you need to not ever rely on motivation. You need to not ever wait for the feeling of motivation. And you need to kind of write off even thinking you're going to get or ever feel motivated by anything. So the thing that I have learned to rely on instead of motivation is structure and habits. Because if you focus more on making sure you have things in place where you are going to take actions, that is where you're going to succeed. Because if you're waiting for motivation to succeed to hit you to go and do those things, it will never happen. And a lot of people say things to me like, man, you have a lot of willpower, or, oh my gosh, you're so motivated. I'm like, I absolutely am not either of those things. I have put so many things into place in order to have willpower, in order to feel like I'm going to do the things that I said I was going to do. So for example, when people say things to me like, you must have so much willpower around eating healthy and food and staying fit, I'm like, oh my God, no. What I do have willpower around that I've worked on is not letting that food into my house. So I do not put things around me that I know are going to tempt me. So I have done a really good job of eliminating distractions, of eliminating the foods that I am super tempted by, of eliminating the obstacles that are going to get me to do the things. So when I look at my gym schedule for the week, a lot of people who want to start working out, they maybe don't have a gym picked out. They don't really have the best gym clothes yet. They don't have a plan of what they're going to do when they're there, and they don't have a schedule, and maybe they haven't committed to something. I am now to the point where you have all of that worked out. So when people look at me and think I have it all together there, it's because I've spent so much time on the plan and eliminating the obstacles that used to come up that would keep me from it. So when I look at my schedule now, I know that on Mondays, I am going to the gym by 8 o'clock. I know exactly what my workout outfit is going to be because it's already picked out. I'm already ready. My water bottle is ready. My gym bag is packed. I know what my routine is going to be because I've planned it. I even know what podcast I'm going to listen to while I'm there. Another thing I know is when I have to stop my morning routine of whatever I've started. So drinking coffee and reading my book, and when I need to start going and getting ready and driving to the gym so that I can be there at that time. I also know that I'm not going to start answering emails, answering text messages, or picking up any phone call that is not an emergency. And you guys, if it is an emergency, someone will text you that it is an emergency. So it's stopping all of the obstacles and coming up with ways around the obstacles, plans for the obstacles that have stopped you in the past. So what I want you to think about right now is the thing that you're having trouble implementing into your life. And I have a feeling that there's some cracks. You probably don't have a solid plan, and you probably don't know exactly to the time and to the exact thing that you'll be doing during that time. So you just don't have a solid plan and a solid schedule into your calendar. Another missing component of what you think motivation actually was is accountability. So I would argue with my first saying of motivation really sucks and it really doesn't even actually exist. And I would say I am very motivated by accountability. And I guess motivation to me means the desire to move. It doesn't mean that I want to do the things. It means that there is a fire lit somewhere and I have the desire to move, because you're either always moving towards happiness or away from pain. And so happiness isn't always like a great motivator, because yes, the gym is going to bring you happiness, but it doesn't bring it right away. It brings it later, right afterward. You're proud of yourself. And then in the long run, 3 to 6 months later, maybe a year later, you start to finally see those results. So it's not super motivating. For me, what is motivating is the accountability of knowing I have to meet a friend and that I don't want to disappoint that friend. So I'm a little bit more motivated by not disappointing the friend. I'm also a little bit more motivated by not wasting the money that I spent on the workout class. I'm also a little bit more motivated by business things where there's money down and I don't want to lose the money or disappoint my customers. So the most important thing that you can do right now on January 16th, where everybody else is falling off of their New Year's plan, is to go back and look at the 1 or 2 things that you want to do the most this year. Go back and look at the plan that you have in place and make sure that it is a very solid plan. Write down to knowing exactly what you are doing at what time and when. And also making sure that you have created enough accountability, enough pressure, and enough, pain points of what will happen if you don't do it, that you actually follow through. One of the things you can do to also lock this in is to really visualize the life that you want this year if you just follow through on those 2 things. So every morning, journaling that you've already done the 2 things, what it feels like at the end of the day to do those 2 things consistently every single day, how good it felt to follow through, how good you felt on the other side. But then also simultaneously journaling what your life will be like at the end of 2025 if you don't do those things. Because what we do a lot is we remove ourselves from the pain of if we don't do them. We kind of block it out and we numb it out with Netflix or food or drinking or going out or whatever fun thing is replacing the thing that we are avoiding. And when we can fast forward and bring the pain forward into the present of what our life will be like if we don't do it, then that's where you can really be motivated by pain. And for me, pain's always been a bigger motivator than just moving towards, I'll be happier when. I've always been like, you know what? My life has been painful before. I have been overweight before. I have not liked my friends before. I have lost a lot of money before. I have been in massive debt before. And I do not want to go there again. And I do not want to think about my life in a year or 5 years if I don't do these things. So I am extremely motivated by bringing pain forward into the present, by projecting out what my life will be like in the future if I don't do the thing. So if you guys aren't in touch with those things, it could be the missing piece of the puzzle of why you're starting to feel like you are moving away from those goals, or why you're starting to feel not as excited about those goals or following through. So you guys, I'm so grateful for you. I'm sending you so much love. I hope that you go and check out Glossy, because that is a really good daily ritual that's going to help you get a quick win and is going to keep you hydrated and also give you some amazing supplements every day. And who doesn't want to look beautiful? Come on. It's like amazing beauty water, you guys. It's a skin routine you can drink that you also get the benefits of glowing skin and a healthy gut. So go check it out at getglossy.com and use code HAPPY for 25% off. And I'm so grateful for you guys tuning in, and stay tuned. There will be another secret podcast coming out of Operation Rekindle This Bitch, which is a secret series. It is a 3-part secret series. If you guys have not listened yet, you can go to the show notes and click on that podcast below. It is an hour-long podcast that I wrote out of just complete and utter desire to help you rekindle that fire that you feel like may have gone out. So if you're starting to feel like your motivation has been lost around the things that you're doing, that podcast can really kick your ass back into gear as well. So go and check that out in the show notes. And you guys, as usual, I'm so grateful for you, and I will see you next week.